When people can talk to a perfect replica of me after I die, did I really die?
AI resurrection.
to bring back AI versions of your loved ones.
The burgeoning grief tech industry.
The rise of grief tech.
Grief tech is this new concept of using technology.
This is not a video about deepfakes. This is about what happens when AI can fully clone a person's memory, experiences, personality, mannerisms, and so on and so forth, to the point where they're indistinguishable from the real person. In this video, we'll explore how this technology can be hugely beneficial in an emerging grief tech industry. And on the other side, we'll explore the darker moral questions that this technology raises, including a claim where now it's possible to steal someone's humanity. But first, just how real is this problem? Now, you might think this technology is still a far ways away, that it requires hours and hours of hard work, expensive microphones and studios and cameras and motion tracking. And you would be right if it was 3 years ago. And now it's as easy as typing in a prompt, adding a character, and you have full unlimited control to create anyone you want. If you're just an average person, is there really enough data about you to make an accurate clone of yourself? Have you seen Instagram, Facebook? People willingly post their entire lives onto the internet. Every video you make, every image you take of yourself, every email, every Word document, that's all data for an AI to learn more about who you are, how you think, and to recreate yourself. There's so many tools out there already that uses AI to understand who you are, to help you write articles, cheat on school, essays, and apply to jobs, all trying to mimic your tone. We as humans are actively trying to seek this out. And so of course it's easy and possible for AI to recreate your personality. Well, what happens when you are successful at cloning yourself? In fact, Michael Bromer successfully accomplished this. But the real question is, how useful was this technology and how did his family members react? Imagine that you're terminally ill. Doctors say you have just 3 weeks left to live. And you have an 8-year-old daughter who's asking you all the questions about why you're leaving, where you're going, that you can't answer. Wouldn't it be great to say, I'll always be with you? And in fact, that's what people say too already. In the future, your children could bring you back whatever they needed your advice or your help. And through AI, you could truly be there for them, for anything that they needed. How did Michael's family react to his AI? They were blown away that this was even possible. And that it helps with providing closure for the family when they're not ready to let go. But Michael's wife personally says she prefers traditional remembrance methods, like reflecting on his favorite shirt or favorite drink or something like that, rather than talking to the AI. And so although this technology is useful and capable, at the time it didn't seem like it was able to replicate or replace the normal grieving process. Or perhaps this is just a tale of generations where some future generations will see this as perfectly normal and natural. Most importantly, this is a story about love, compassion, care, and of choice, where Michael and his family all chose this, all opted into this, and personally decided that this was best for their family. What if you don't get to make that decision? What if someone else makes that decision for you? Perhaps unsurprisingly, this has already happened. I'll give you some examples. First one is with James Dean, who was resurrected as a CGI character in a movie in 2019, which caused massive controversy. The movie never made it to the light of day, and everyone was super concerned that this was even happening. Coca-Cola used the voice of Johnny Cash, a famous country singer. Sorry, I don't know who he is. Probably very famous. And actually their estate sued Coca-Cola for stealing his voice. This lawsuit was brought under the Elvis Act, legislation meant to protect musicians against artificial intelligence and voice clones. The most interesting part is the complaint about stealing humanity. Now, that's a very interesting moral and philosophical question, which we'll get into in just a bit. There are also many examples where grandmas get phone calls from their grandchildren about a car accident, asking for money to pay hospital bills, and so on and so forth. But those are all generally deepfake problems. But I don't really care about deepfakes for the purposes of this video. I'm more interested in what it means to steal humanity. Right now, it's just chatbots, it's voice. Maybe we see the beginning of video in Sora. But people are also working on robotics, humanoid robotics. Boston Dynamics have really powerful humanoid robots. And could there be a world where we recreate someone in a physical world, where they can walk with us, talk to us, point at things, travel with us, and it feels like people will never go away?
Morning.
Money.
What's this? Block of gold?
I wish. Doesn't look like you.
Don't sweep the back of our plate on it. Let it cradle. There you go. There. Could have left me some clubs.
Now that sounds like science fiction now, but video recreation sounded like science fiction just a couple of years ago. And ultimately, when technology companies begin to offer this as a service, for a grieving family, this may be a wonderful thing, great thing. And used maliciously is a terrible thing. And so when you die 20, 30, 50, 60 years from now, and there's enough data, training data, to perfectly and accurately clone your personality and your voice and your face and your mannerisms, and you could be summoned, invoked, we should probably find a good verb for this, by anyone at any time. At what point are you still dead to the world? Or at that point, have you achieved immortality, but against your will?
Robin Williams' daughter, Zelda, asking fans to stop sending her AI videos of her dad. It's not what he'd want, even going as far as calling it horrible TikTok slop. It's not just Robin Williams, but Tupac and Kobe Bryant, Selena and Aaliyah. While it may all seem offensive for some, for others, it can feel like a celebration of life.
But beyond the lawsuits and the creepy factor, this actually brings up a massive philosophical standoff. What is self? What makes you, you? Depending on which philosopher you side with, AI resurrection is either a miracle or a scam. On one side, you have the eternal view, classic from guys like John Locke or René Descartes. They argue that you are your consciousness. You are the I that is thinking the thoughts. There's a modern version of this called the transportation paradox. If you are broken down into atoms and reassembled into a perfect copy of yourself on Mars, did you travel? Or did you die and a copy takes your place? The AI just sounds like you, act like you, but it's just an actor, not the real person. You're still dead. But there's a completely different way to look at it, the narrative view. This is championed by philosophers like Daniel Dennett. He argued that self is not a physical thing in your brain. It's a center of narrative gravity. Basically, you are a story. You don't exist in a vacuum. You exist in the minds of people who love you. You are the specific way you made your friends laugh. You are the advice you gave your kids. From this angle, does biology even matter? If the function of you is to be a father or a friend or a partner, and a machine fulfills that function, then the story continues. You never ceased to exist. And so this really comes down to what we value more and what we think humans are. Do we care more about the biological person, or do we care about their impact to society? If this video made you think differently about AI, digital avatars, and immortality and what it means to be a human, please subscribe, like the video, and stay tuned for the next one.